Welcome to 10-Minute Health Tech, the AI-powered podcast, where we dive into healthcare technologies and companies so you don't have to. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Julia, and today we're going to do a deep dive into RecoveryOne.
Okay.
It's a company aiming to, I guess you could say, transform pain recovery, trying to make it a lot easier and more accessible.
So we know virtual physical therapy is gaining traction, but what makes RecoveryOne stand out in this space? Because it's getting kind of crowded.
Yeah, it is. What's fascinating about them is their focus on this holistic approach to pain management.
Yeah.
So it's not just about treating the immediate pain, right? It's more about equipping you with the tools and the knowledge you need for long-term recovery.
Yeah, because anyone who's ever dealt with chronic pain knows it's not just about taking a pill or doing a couple stretches. It's about understanding your body.
Right.
Modifying behaviors, making those lifestyle changes.
Exactly. And that's where RecoveryOne's emphasis on expert guidance and personalized care really stands out, I think.
Yeah.
They connect you with licensed physical therapists.
Oh, okay. Who assess your needs, answer your questions, and design a program specifically for you.
That's a huge difference from just doing some random, exercise video you find online. But how do they personalize the therapy itself, especially virtually?
That's where their adaptive technology comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So they use these evidence-based exercises, but they're not static. The technology actually adapts to your progress.
Interesting.
So it adjusts the difficulty and intensity as you go.
So it's almost like having a virtual physical therapist there with you.
Yeah.
Kind of monitoring you.
Exactly. Constantly monitoring, tweaking your program in real time.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It sounds like they've managed to replicate the personal attention you'd get in a traditional physical therapy setting, but with the added convenience of being able to do it anywhere.
Exactly. They've combined cutting-edge technology with human expertise to create this truly personalized and accessible experience. But, they don't just leave you to figure it out on your own, right? Because let's be honest, even with the best technology, staying motivated and sticking to any recovery program can be really tough.
Absolutely. And that's where RecoveryOne's continuous support system comes in. So they offer regular check-ins with your physical therapist.
Okay.
Plus, you have access to these certified health coaches who provide motivation, accountability, and guidance on making those really important behavioral changes.
It really sounds like they've thought through the whole recovery journey.
Yeah.
Addressing not just the physical aspects of pain, but the mental and emotional ones too. But let's get down to it. Does it actually work?
Well, they claim some pretty impressive results, and they're not just anecdotal. They have data to back it up.
Okay, so give us the numbers. What kind of results are we talking about?
Well, they've reported that users experience noticeable pain relief in as little as 9 days on average.
9 days?
Yeah.
That's remarkable. What else?
They've also seen a really significant reduction in the need for costly surgeries among their users. In fact, their data shows a 51% decrease in surgeries compared to those who didn't use RecoveryOne.
Wow.
And that's not all. They've also reported a 37% reduction in opioid use among their users.
Okay, so those are some seriously compelling statistics. I mean, if they hold up under scrutiny, that could have huge implications, for the healthcare system in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Less reliance on surgery, fewer opioids being prescribed. I mean, that's a game changer. But,
yeah.
These are just numbers. What about real people? Do we have any insight into how this is actually impacting, individual lives?
Yeah, they have. They actually have a number of testimonials from users who have seen, real benefits from the program.
Let's hear about those. I'm always curious to put a human face on these technological advancements.
Sure. One story that really stood out to me was Lana G. So after completing her 13 weeks of virtual physical therapy, she said her neck and shoulders felt better than they did before she even started experiencing pain.
So she's not even back to baseline. She's better.
Yeah. Going beyond just pain relief to actually improving beyond your previous baseline.
That's incredible. It's a testament to the potential, of this technology to not just address pain, but really improve, overall well-being. Are there other stories that kind of illustrate the impact of RecoveryOne?
Yeah, there's also Debbie M. She went from barely being able to kneel down to having, stronger knees than she's had in 20 years.
That's what I call reclaiming your mobility.
Right.
It's incredible to think that, a virtual program could have such a profound impact on someone's physical capabilities.
Yeah, but I do want to say, these stories, while powerful, they are individual experiences. It's important to remember that individual results may vary. And virtual physical therapy may not be suitable for everyone.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As with any healthcare decision, it's crucial to do your research, consult with your doctor, and consider your own needs and circumstances.
Yeah.
But even with those caveats, it's exciting to see, how technology is being used to make healthcare more accessible
Yeah.
and personalized,
Mhm.
especially in an area like physical therapy where you traditionally have to go in person for these visits.
Right. That's a key point. RecoveryOne is really tapping into this need for flexible and convenient healthcare solutions. I mean, people are busier than ever.
Oh, yeah.
And those traditional healthcare models, they often just don't fit into people's lives these days.
And, for a lot of people, even finding the time to, like, drive to a physical therapist,
Yeah.
let alone attending multiple appointments a week, can be a huge barrier.
Absolutely. And that can lead to people putting off, treatment,
Mm.
which can actually make their conditions worse and make recovery more challenging.
Yeah, it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So by getting rid of those barriers and making physical therapy more accessible, RecoveryOne could really have a huge impact, not just on individuals, but like on the healthcare system as a whole.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the potential cost savings from like reduced surgery rates and opioid prescriptions,
Right.
it's clear that virtual physical therapy could be a real disruptor in the healthcare landscape.
It's not just about the cost, though. It's
Hmm.
about, giving people that control
Right.
to take control of their own health and recovery, giving them the tools and knowledge they need to, like, manage their pain
Exactly.
and improve their quality of life.
It's a shift, really, from a reactive to a proactive approach to healthcare.
Yeah. And one that could lead to better outcomes down the road.
Yeah.
But like any, new field,
Yeah.
virtual physical therapy does face its own challenges
Right.
and questions like, for example, how do we make sure that the quality is good
Right.
and that the care is consistent in this virtual setting?
That's a really good point. It's crucial that we establish like clear standards and guidelines for virtual physical therapy. Things like making sure the therapists are properly credentialed,
Okay.
having like rigorous protocols for assessing patients and how they plan those treatments.
What about the impact on jobs, like for traditional physical therapists?
Yeah.
Could this lead to, a decrease in demand for in-person care?
That's tough to say. I mean, it's possible that we'll see like a shift in the roles of physical therapists, with some focusing more on that virtual care,
Mm-hmm.
while others continue to provide in-person treatment. For those conditions that really need like hands-on intervention.
So we'll probably see both models, right?
Yeah.
Existing, kind of working together.
Right.
Where the virtual care supplements and expands access.
Exactly. And ultimately, the goal should be to find the right balance, between these two approaches. Make sure patients are getting the most appropriate and effective care for their needs.
Exactly. So while virtual physical therapy may not be a one-size-fits-all solution, it's definitely a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
It has the potential to really change the way we approach, pain management and recovery. It's
Mhm.
definitely something that deserves more attention and more exploration. It feels like we're really at the beginning of a big change in healthcare,
Mm.
with technology like playing a bigger and bigger role.
What I find exciting is it's not just about replacing the old ways of doing things. It's about, expanding access, creating these new possibilities for personalized care.
And that kind of brings us back to RecoveryOne. Well, it's just one example of this. It gives us a peek into the potential of virtual physical therapy to really make a difference, in people's lives.
For anyone listening who is dealing with pain, whether it's a new injury or something they've been dealing with for a while, or maybe, recovering from surgery, it's worth looking into, right? Seeing if virtual physical therapy might be right for them.
Definitely. And I think the big takeaway here is healthcare isn't one size fits all anymore. There are a lot more options out there, and it's up to each of us to, explore those options and figure out what works best for us.
It's about being an informed and empowered patient, doing your research, talking to your doctor, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Well said. So as we're wrapping up our deep dive into RecoveryOne, what stands out to you the most about this? Is virtual physical therapy something you would consider?
I think the convenience and that accessibility are huge, especially for people who are super busy or, have trouble getting around. And the way they combine personalized care with that cutting edge technology, that's really impressive. It's definitely something I'd consider depending on the specific condition,
I agree. It's an exciting development in healthcare, and I can't wait to see how it evolves over the next few years.
I think we're just getting started with virtual physical therapy. As technology improves and we learn more about pain management, I expect even more innovative solutions.
It's an amazing time to be keeping up with all the healthcare technology out there. Thanks for spending 10 minutes with us, and be sure to look for more 10-Minute Health Tech podcasts. Bye.
Bye, everyone.